charges under 18 U.S.C. Section 912, falsely pretending to be a federal officer while acting as such or demanding anything of value is a federal crime. But the man provided verifiable identification and was not impersonating anyone. He repeatedly offered to show his badge and credentials, yet refused to hand them over after being immediately called a liar, protecting himself from potential mishandling or escalation during a tense roadside encounter. By asserting his rights calmly despite provocation, including demands for a supervisor and threats of arrest, he highlighted how federal employees are not obligated to surrender credentials on command to local authorities without proper procedure.
Stop. Okay. Why are you still paying for AI video tools when the best one is actually free? This open source video generator turns any text
without proper procedure.
Stop. Okay. Yeah, I was just talking to the officer. The officer pushed me, but I can get inside.
Yeah.
And they just talked AAA, 60 to 90 minutes.
60 to 90 minutes?
Yep, they said I'll try to get there quicker.
Okay.
So they send me updates.
We can't block the entrance, though, because the buses need to come in here.
I'm not blocking the entrance, though.
Yeah, this is the entrance. Only buses come through here.
I know that, but he said because I was disabled,
Who said?
the police officer.
What police officer?
Okay, the one that was here who offered to assist me. I had my shoes off and my feet are hurting.
That's okay.
Yeah, I would not lie to you. I'm a federal officer myself. He offered to assist me.
What are you reaching your bag for?
My bed.
Okay.
But I wouldn't lie to you. Why, you're not getting nervous, are you?
Well, of course I am, because
Why?
people are reaching inside of a bag. I don't know you.
But that's why I'm getting my badge, so you will.
Okay.
So, yeah, the officer was here earlier. I guess he had pulled someone over. He saw that I had a flag. The officer assist me. So then I said to him, it's a train station.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you're a disabled vehicle, it's okay.
It's a bus station and a train station.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. But I can't
I need to have my buses coming in. I work for transit.
Okay.
So,
But it's just disabled. So I'm waiting for the. Just so you know, but you don't have to have it, so you know.
can I see it?
No, just take my word for it, okay?
No, can I see it?
No. I just told
You know, it's illegal to say you're a federal officer when you're not.
So now you call me a liar?
Can I see your badge, please?
You can look at it. See the picture there? That's me.
So
now
I need
I'm
to see
enforcement, COG and DOJ, yes. So now you've accused me of being a liar.
Okay, let me see your badge.
No, you've seen it.
You're going to go under arrest here in a
No,
very
you're not.
quick
You're not
minute.
going to arrest me.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
Unless
because
you don't want your job.
you're saying that you're a federal
Okay,
officer.
yeah, yes, I call you supervisor.
You're saying that you're a federal
Call
officer.
your supervisor right now.
Let me see your badge, please.
Call your supervisor.
I'm a
Call your
supervisor.
supervisor. No. I want another supervisor.
Well, let me see your badge.
I want another supervisor.
Let me see your badge.
No, call your supervisor.
Get your badge out and show me.
No, I will not. You can't demand call your badge. You think I'm stupid? I'm also a lawyer as well.
Really?
You've already called me a yes, I am.
Okay.
You've already called me a liar. I'm sorry to see you.
Hey, just stand right here. Stand right here.
Unless I'm under arrest.
Stand right here. You're being
Unless I'm
detained.
under arrest.
You're being detained.
I'm not being detained. Yes, I am a lawyer.
Yes, you are.
Call your supervisor.
This guy's claiming to be he's
Call your supervisor.
federal officer.
That's right. Call your
Claims he's a
supervisor.
lawyer.
You arresting me?
You're being detained right now.
You arrested me. That means nothing.
Yes,
That means nothing.
yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
If you're a lawyer,
Call your supervisor.
if you're a lawyer, you know
Call
that
your
doesn't mean
supervisor.
something. You're being audio video recorded.
Call
Just so
your,
you know.
and I'm going to report you too.
Cool.
Call your supervisor.
So you do need to move the vehicle.
It's disabled. Is your supervisor coming?
I can push it out of the way.
Is your supervisor coming?
I can push it out of the way.
I have requested your supervisor. Is he or she coming?
You're blocking an
Okay,
entrance.
you're not answering the question, Officer Morrell. I asked for this supervisor.
And I
Is
told
he
you
or
that
she
I am a
coming?
supervisor.
Okay,
so
you have another supervisor as well.
no, I do not.
Yes, you do not. Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Okay, come on.
I told you I'm transit police.
You've already, when you call me a
I'm
liar,
scared.
when you call me a liar, you already lost credibility.
Okay, well, you are lying.
Okay, so now you call me a liar.
Yeah.
I am not lying.
Okay.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it.
You need to move. Okay.
Okay.
You need to move
arrest
this.
me for impersonating a federal officer.
Yeah.
Okay, arrest me then.
Yeah, I want to see your
Okay.
badge.
No. Will not see my badge.
So you cannot just say you're a federal
No,
officer and not provide me the
Arrest me
opportunity to look
first.
at
I've
it.
already told you I was. You called me a liar. Arrest me first so I can get you a false arrest.
The vehicle is clear.
And I was a lawyer, you said I wasn't.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I didn't.
You said, really?
Yeah, that's a question.
Yeah,
Really?
no.
Baby Joe, I'm alone on fine bobo. Joe, my Joe Jabo. I will push and shackle. If I did to my soko, Jamie Labo. Baby Joe, I'm alone on fine bobo. Joe, my Joe Jabo. I will push and shackle. If I did to my soko, Jamie Labo. Baby Joe, I'm alone on fine bobo. Joe, my Joe Jabo. I will push and shackle. If I did to my soko, Jamie Labo. Baby Joe, I'm alone on fine.
Lord God Almighty, you are rich in mercy and full of compassion. Today your children humble themselves before you and ask for forgiveness. Have mercy on them, O Lord, and cleanse the heart. Remove every guilt, shame.
Baby Joe,
Lord God Almighty,
baby Joe, I'm alone on fine bobo. Joe, my Joe Jabo. I will push and shackle. If I did to my soko, Jamie.
Travailler, maman dit travailler c'est bien, bien mieux qu'être mal accompagné, pas vrai? Travailler, maman dit travailler.
Heavenly Father, your children come before you today asking for divine opportunities that only you can provide. Lord, open doors that no one can shut and lead them.
Être mal accompagné, pas vrai? Être mal accompagné, pas vrai? Être mal accompagné.
Do you think that in this
Bien mieux qu'être mal accompagné, pas vrai? Ça doit faire au moins 1000 fois que j'ai compté mes doigts. Hey. Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es?
Hey boss, want to invest in starting a business? Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah.
me, Lord. Bless me, Lord. Bless me, Lord, every day. Lord, every day. Bless me, Lord, every day.
The best Temu luggage that makes
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance, please subscribe.
In the bed.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance, please subscribe.
In the bed.
Please don't scroll.
There's an included keyboard.
Hey, if you're watching this, could you maybe...
Why do you post every day when you barely get 100 likes?
100 likes means 100 people took the time to watch something I created. That may seem small to you, but it motivates me. I know my audience is out there, and when they find me, they will support me.
Why do you post every day when you barely get 100 likes?
100 likes means 100 people took...
Three phrases that make you a weak speaker.
Hey Siri, how much is left in my bank account?
The only thing left in your bank account is your name.
Hey Siri, how much is left in my bank account?
The only thing left in your bank account is your name.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance, please subscribe.
In the back of my mind.
Don't play with me, don't play with me. God on my side, you can't play on me, play on me. Devil try, but he can't take from me, take from me. I'm too covered, you can't aim at me, aim at me. Boy, don't play with me, don't play with me.
If the Lord's not here, we're just sowing tares. We're creating a city of straw. No, we have to create a church that's relevant to the Lord. Amen.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. 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 Bing, bop, boom, boom, bing, bop, boom, boom, bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
Let me get to my l'accompagner, pas vrai. Où est ton papa? Dis-moi où est ton papa? Sans même devoir lui parler. Bless me, Lord, every day, every day, every day, every day. Guide my steps in every way, every way, every way, every way, every way, every way. You're on my side, on my side. Bless me, Lord, every day, every day, every day, every day. Guide my steps in every way, every way, every way.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go. 1, 2.
Even you can create videos like these.
Tu m'as l'accompagné, pas vrai. Où est ton papa? Dis-moi où est ton papa? Sans même devoir lui parler, c'est ce qui ne va pas. Tu m'as l'accompagné, pas vrai. Où est ton papa? Dis-moi où est ton papa? Sans même devoir lui parler, c'est ce qui ne va pas. Tu m'as l'accompagné.
Sometimes I want to give up on YouTube. The numbers stop moving, the comments slow down, and it feels like nobody's watching. But then I remember, every creator started here. 0 views, 0 likes, just an idea and a reason to try again. Thanks for being here. And if you want to see how far we can go together, drop a like and subscribe. It really does keep me moving. Sometimes I want to give up on YouTube. The numbers stop moving, the comments slow down.
If you're a small content creator, use this sound to gain at least 100 new subscribers. Don't believe me? Try it yourself. If you're a small content...
Tired of awkward chats and fake replies?
Bless me, Lord, every day, every day, every day. Guide my steps in every way, every way, every way, every way, every way. You're on my side, on my side. Bless me, Lord, every day, every day, every way, every way, every way, every way, every way. You're on my side, on my side. Bless me, Lord, every day, every day, every day, every day. Guide my steps in every way, every way, every way, every way, every way. You're on my side, on my side. Bless me, Lord, every day, every day, every day, every day. Guide my steps in every way, every way, every way, every way, every way. You're on my side, on my side.
the heart of Lagos, where glass towers pierced the sky and ambition moved faster than traffic on Third Mainland Bridge, lived Obina Okafor, a proud Igbo man from Anambra who had built a name for himself in the city's competitive real estate and agro-processing industry. Obina was the kind of man Lagos admired. He drove a black Range Rover, wore tailored suits from designers in Victoria Island, and spoke at business conferences about legacy and generational wealth. But long before the interviews and magazine features, there was Adaze. Adezi Okafor was not just his wife, she was his foundation. They met during their NYSC year in Abuja. She had studied business administration. He studied economics. While Obina had bold ideas, it was Adaez who understood structure, documentation, and risk. When they married and moved to Lagos, they started small, buying and reselling agricultural produce from the east. From those humble beginnings, they built Golden Crest Holdings, a diversified company involved in palm oil processing, logistics, and later, property development. The company headquarters stood proudly in Lekki Phase 1. On paper, both were co-founders and equal shareholders, but success changes some people. As Golden Crest began signing multi-million naira contracts and acquiring properties in Ikoyi, Lekki, and even Abuja, Obina started changing. The humble man who once rode buses became intoxicated with influence. He began attending exclusive parties, private yacht gatherings, and closed-door meetings where ego flowed more freely than champagne. Then came Amara. Amara was younger, flashy, and impressed by Obina's money. She lived in a luxury apartment in Victoria Island, paid for quietly by him. At first, it was discreet. Late meetings, business trips, weekend conferences that lasted too long. Adaisi noticed the distance before she confirmed the betrayal. Obina stopped discussing company decisions with her. He began overriding her authority in meetings. Staff who once reported to her were instructed to clear everything through Oga. Then one evening, he came home unusually calm. Adaze, he began, loosening his tie. Our lawyers advised that for expansion purposes, investors are more comfortable when ownership is streamlined. We need to transfer all properties and the company fully into my name. Adaze didn't react immediately. All the properties? She asked quietly. Yes, it's just strategy. You are my wife. What's mine is yours. The next day, official-looking documents were brought home. Property deeds, share transfer forms, directorship restructuring papers, everything positioned to remove her completely. Obina had underestimated the woman he married. Adaze read every line carefully. She noticed subtle aggressiveness in the clauses. No protection for her. No fallback rights. Instead of arguing, she smiled. If this strengthens the company, I will sign, she said softly. Obina mistook her calm for submission. What he didn't know was that Adaze had long sensed his plans. Weeks earlier, after discovering bank transfers to Amara, she quietly consulted a top corporate attorney in Ikoyi, one who specialized in asset protection and marital corporate disputes. Together, they prepared something brilliant, a mere set of documents, visually identical, properly stamped, professionally bound, but legally structured as conditional transfers. Transfers that required board ratification and regulatory confirmation that would never be granted without her authorization. Hidden within were protective clauses, locking majority control in a holding trust she solely controlled. When Obena returned from a trip to Abuja, Adaeze signed the substitute document. He never noticed the swap. From that moment, Obina transformed completely. Believing he now owned everything, he stopped pretending he don't. Also, he thought. He began moving funds, preparing to liquidate assets. He confided in Amara about his master plan: sell off major properties, dissolve the company, transfer proceeds to an offshore account, and relocate to Dubai. Amara believed she had won. Months passed. Obina initiated property sales in Ikoyi and Lekki worth billions of naira. He negotiated a near-final acquisition deal for Golden Crest Holdings with a foreign investor. Due diligence began. Then everything collapsed. The investor's legal team flagged inconsistencies. The share transfer documents did not grant Obina unilateral authority. Board resolutions were invalid. Corporate Affairs Commission records still reflected Adesi as majority shareholder and controlling director. Was still, Adesi had anticipated asset stripping. Quietly, through her lawyer, she had filed protective caveats on all major properties and corporate restrictions on share disposal months earlier. When Obina attempted to force sign digital approvals using forged internal authorization codes, the transaction triggered a financial compliance alert. Within days, he was formally accused of attempted corporate fraud, falsification of authority, and financial misrepresentation. But Obina didn't know yet. He had already booked one-way tickets. On a humid Friday night, he arrived at Murtala Mohammed International Airport with Amara beside him, both carrying designer luggage and dreams of escape. At the departure terminal, just after passport control, security officers approached Mr. Obina Okafor. He smiled confidently. Yes, you need to come with us. Amara stepped back slowly. Within minutes, Obina learned the truth. He did not legally own what he was trying to sell. His attempted transactions constituted fraud. A court order had already been issued restricting his movement pending investigation. Amara's phone was switched off before sunrise. News spread quickly across Lagos business circles. Blogs carried headlines: real estate mogul arrested in asset fraud scandal. Investors panicked. Associates distanced themselves overnight. Meanwhile, Adazi remained in the company headquarters. Composed, she immediately called an emergency board meeting. Evidence was presented. She assumed full executive authority legally, not emotionally, but strategically. Within weeks, she removed Obina as signatory. She restructured the executive team. She stabilized investor confidence. She filed for divorce on grounds of infidelity and economic abuse. When journalists tried to provoke her, she gave only one statement: partnership requires integrity. Where integrity dies, structure must prevail. Obina, once celebrated in Lagos high society, now sat in a quiet detention office awaiting trial. His assets were frozen. His so-called friends stopped answering calls, and other youth. She expanded Golden Crest Holdings beyond Nigeria. She launched a Women in Business Mentorship Foundation in Lagos, teaching female entrepreneurs about ownership rights, documentation, and financial literacy. At conferences, she would say, "Never be what you cannot legally defend." In a city obsessed with power, Adaize proved something greater. In the quiet farming village of Umueziala, where the morning mist rested gently on red earth and palm trees whispered ancient secrets, lived a woman everyone called Mama Nenkem. No one remembered when her fortune began, but everyone knew one thing: hunger filled her compound. while other farmers cried over yellowing cassava and weak yam tendrils. Mama Nekem's farm stood tall and proud, leaves shining like they had been washed by unseen hands. Children ran past her land in wonder. Women returning from the stream would pause and sigh. Chinese bless Mama Enkem, they would say. Yet blessings in Umezeala were never quiet, and Mama Enkem's blessing was too silent. No birds perched on her udara tree, no grasshoppers jumped across her ridges. Even stubborn ghosts refused to cross into her fan. But success blinds the eyes of the living, so the village praised her and asked no questions. Mama Enkem lived alone in a white mud house with freshly painted walls. No husband, no child, no visiting relative, only her shadow and the front that never slept. At night, when oil lamps dimmed across Umueze and the moon climbed slowly above the Iroko tree, Mama Enkem would wrap a black cloth around a small clay pot and walk quietly toward the deepest part of her farmland. No one followed, no one dared, until the season a stranger arrived. One dusty evening, a young widow named Adaese entered Umuesala carrying her thin son, Obina, on her back. Hunger had carved sorrow into her cheeks. Her wrapper hung loosely on her bones. She begged from compound to compound until someone pointed toward Mama Enkem's gate. If anyone can help you, he said softly, it is the woman whose land never knows dryness. Mama Enkem looked at her for a long time, then smiled slowly. You will stay, she said. My farm always has space for willing hands. Adaise fell to her knees in gratitude, but the wind that evening carried a whisper. Only the old trees understood. Every gift has a shadow. Days turn into weeks. Adaise worked harder than anyone had ever worked on that land. Yet strange things began to trouble her spirit. The soil near the center of the farm was always wet, even under harsh sun. The air there felt cold, like harmattan hiding beneath the ground. And every night, Mama Enkem walked there alone, with a covered clay pot. Each morning after, the crops grew taller, greener, stronger, as if they had drunk something deeper than water. Fear planted a quiet seed inside Adaise's heart, and curiosity began to water it one moonless night, when even dogs refused to bark. Adaise followed Mama Enkem into the darkness. She hid behind thick cassava leaves and watched. Mama Enkem knelt before an ancient twisted tree at the center of the farm. A tree villagers avoided even during daylight. Slowly, reverently, she opened the clay pot. Inside was fresh blood, still warm, still breathing. She poured it into the soil and whispered in a trembling voice, Chick, and remember your promise. Let my land never know hunger. The ground shifted, like something beneath it had awakened. A low sound rose from the earth. Not wind, not animal. Adaise's heart stopped. She tried to scream. The darkness swallowed her voice, and before dawn came, Adaise and little Obina were gone. Mama Enkem told the villagers they had left before sunrise, and because the harvest that week was the richest anyone had seen in years, no one questioned her. But the land had begun to listen, and in Umeseala, when the earth listens, it is already hungry.
In the bustling city of Onitsha, where the roads never slept and the air was always thick with dust, nose, and ambition, there lived a man known by the world as Chief Obinachukwu Okafor. To the public, he was a billionaire businessman, owner of shipping companies, real estate across Lagos and Abuja, oil contracts, and private investments abroad. Newspapers called him the golden son of Anambra. Politicians bowed when he walked in. Women smiled too quickly when he entered a room. But behind the polished shoes and bulletproof combos lived a man drowning in loneliness. Chief Obinna was 41, unmarried and tired. Every woman he met loved his money, not his soul. He had been betrayed to a seance by a fiancée who secretly recorded his private conversations to extort him, and once by a woman who disappeared the day his bank accounts were temporarily frozen during a government investigation. That night, sitting alone in his massive mansion in Asaba, Obinna stared at the ceiling and whispered. The next morning, Obinna did something nobody expected. He called his most trusted aide, Emeka, and said quietly, "I want to disappear." Emeka froze. "Sir, I want to live like a poor man. No cars, no suits, no titles. I want to be nobody." Emeka laughed nervously, thinking it was a joke. But Obinna wasn't joking. Within 1 week, he handed his companies to a temporary board, moved out of his mansion, rented a small room in Badayu's Keek Napa, grew a rough beard, wore faded shirts and worn slippers. To the world, Chief Obinna Okafor vanished. To the streets, a new Keek driver appeared. His name now was Obi, the quiet Keek man. Driving Keek was not easy. Passengers insulted him. Police harassed him. Rain soaked him. Some days he ate once. At night, Obi lay on a thin mattress, listening to generators humming, wondering how people survive this life every day. "So this is how millions live," he murmured. One evening, while waiting for passengers near Main Market, he saw her. Her name was Afuninya. She was not beautiful in the loud Wayno heavy makeup. No flashy clothes, but there was a quiet strength about her. She sold fruits by the roadside, waking up for him every day. Her eyes carried sadness and dignity. That day, rain began suddenly. People ran. Afuninya struggled to cover her fruits. Without thinking, Obi parked his Keek and helped her. "Leave it," she said quickly. "Madam, rain no day pity anybody," he replied gently. She looked at him, surprised by his tone. That was the first day. Days turned into weeks. Obi began parking near her stand every evening. Sometimes he bought oranges he didn't need. Sometimes they talked. She told him her story. Her parents died when she was 16. Her uncle seized their land. She dropped out of school. She was saving to return to university. Obi listened. He never offered money. He offered presents. One night she asked him, "Why are you not married?" Obi smiled sadly. "Because people don't see me. They see what they want from me." Afuninya nodded slowly. "I understand that too well." As months passed, their bond deepened. They shared roasted corn. They laughed. They prayed together when business was bad. One evening, Obi fell sick. Afuninya closed her stand early and stayed with him all night, wiping his sweat with a cloth. At dawn, she whispered, "Even if you are poor, you are rich in heart." Obi turned away so she wouldn't see his tears. That night, he fell in love, not with her beauty, not with her body, but with her. One afternoon, a luxury SUV stopped near the roadside. Men in suits stepped out. People stared. They walked straight to Obi. "Chief Obinna," one said quietly. Afuninya froze. The men knelt. Her basket fell from her hands. "Chief," Obi sighed. The truth had arrived. That evening, Obinna told her everything. Who he was, why he disguised, how rich he truly was. Afuninya listened in silence. When he finished, she stood up and said, "So everything was a lie?" "No," he said quickly. "My name was the only lie. My feelings were real." She laughed bitterly. "You tested me." "No," he whispered. "I tested love." She walked away. Days passed. Obinna returned to his mansion. The wealth felt empty now. He sent gifts, rejected them. Finally, he went to her fruit stand. He knelt right there on the dusty road. "I am sorry. I didn't know how else to protect my heart." People gathered. Afuninya's voice shook. "Do you love me or the idea that I passed your test?" Obinna looked up. "I love the woman who fed me when I had nothing. The woman who prayed for me when she thought I was poor." Tears fell. Afuninya helped him stand. She said quietly, "Take me as I am. No tests, no disguises, no power games." Obinna nodded. "I swear before God and my ancestors." They married simply. No extravagant display. No media knows. Afuninya returned to school by choice, not force. Obinna kept one Keek in his garage. Whenever people asked why, he smiled and said, "That Keek carried me to my destiny."
In the quiet village of Umilk, nestled between hills and forests, lived a young girl named Addis. She was just 15, a quiet and humble student in SS2 at St. Mary's Secondary School. Addis was different, not just because she was unusually smart, or because her eyes sometimes seemed to glow when she was angry, but because of her long, thick natural dreadlocks. Passed down from her late grandmother, her hair was not just for beauty, it carried a mysterious power she herself didn't understand. From her first day at school, Addis was a target. Students whispered behind her back, calling her names like a bush girl and Vogbanj. Some even spread rumors that she was a witch. The teachers didn't help either. One even asked her to cut her hair if she wanted to be civilized. But Addis always remembered her grandmother's words, "Your hair is your crown, your strength, and your gift. Never let the world take it from you." The worst of her tormentors was a girl named Chioma, the most popular girl in school. Chioma came from a rich home and always had girls following her around like shadows. Together with her crew, Ngozi, Ifeoma, and Amoka, they made Addis' life miserable. They would pull her hair, pour water on her seat, and even write "witch" on her locker. Yet Addis never retaliated. She kept her pain to herself, crying into her pillow every night. But what nobody knew was that Addis had dreams, strange dreams. In them, her grandmother would appear, standing in a forest of fireflies, whispering secrets about her powers. She would say, "There's a time to endure and a time to rise." Each time Addis woke up with her dreadlocks glowing faintly and her palms warm, as if holding energy. She still didn't understand what it meant until the day they went too far. It was Inter-House Sports Day. While other students were celebrating, Chioma and her gang cornered Addis behind the school hall. They had planned it. With scissors in hand, they pinned her down. "Let's see if you'll still be special without these dirty ropes," Chioma hissed. As the scissors touched her hair, something inside Addis snapped. Her eyes turned fiery red, the earth trembled slightly, and the scissors flew out of Chioma's hand as if pushed by an invisible force. The girl screamed, backing away in fear. But it was too late. Addis stood up slowly, her dreadlocks rising like they were alive. Wind swirled around her even though the day was still. Her voice, calm yet thunderous, echoed, "You've mocked me for too long. You've spat on my heritage. Now, you will feel what it means to disrespect the gift of the spirits." The air grew heavy. The ground beneath their feet cracked slightly, and the girls fell to their knees, unable to move. Chioma tried to speak but her voice was gone. Ngozi fainted. Ifeoma wept loudly, begging for mercy. Amoka crawled on the floor, trying to escape, but an unseen force pulled her back. Addis walked towards them, her dreadlocks floating like ropes of judgment. But just when it seemed like she would unleash full punishment, a vision of her grandmother appeared before her, only she could see it. "Addis," the vision said gently, "vengeance is not power. Mercy is." With tears in her eyes, Addis raised her hands and the wind stopped. The ground calmed. Her hair fell gently back onto her shoulders. The girls could move again. They ran, terrified, never looking back. The story spread like wildfire. By the next morning, students were afraid to even look her in the eye. Teachers whispered, and the principal called her parents. But instead of punishing her, they begged her to explain. Addis simply said, "I defended myself." She was no longer afraid.